Hello and welcome to On the Record. I'm Shireen Bhan, and today it is our pleasure to welcome on the program Chairman Emeritus of DLF, Mr. KP Singh, who's just been awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award at the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Awards 2022. Mr. Singh, many thanks for joining us here on the record, and congratulations on the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You know, the last conversation that you and I had was when you launched your book, Whatever the Odds, the story of DLF. And that's been many, many years. You sort of went into a self-imposed hibernation. You've decided to exit that. Why?
Because I do believe that when you reach the age of 90, you must give up active management of a listed company. Ours is a listed company. So I thought it's time that my son takes over, who's an extremely competent businessman of India. And I become emeritus, and a lot of people drag on. I'm not one of those guys. I was asking several years earlier, I said, you step in. But then we had my late wife was not well, and all this kind of led on to. But at age of 90, I decided that I must give up this active executive role.
Yes, you did give up your active executive role a few years ago. But, you know, in many ways, your story is linked to the story of a changing India. DLF is 70 plus years old. You were at the helm of DLF for 5 decades. You've seen the Indian economy change. You've seen India change. As you look back at the progress made, but more importantly, the distance to be covered, what's your assessment?
Firstly, I feel people often talk India as a country. It is not a country, it's a continent. If you look at the situation when we've got independence, India was a very heterogeneous area where east, west, north, south, even local alike, the religion was different, dialects are different. There was nothing common. And there was education, literacy rates were completely different. So to homogenize it into a democracy, I must say it's a great feat. Successive governments today, one thing we can say, that within our constitution, what India is today is a homogeneous democracy, like of which there is no parallel in the world. So I feel that way. But having said that, I don't feel satisfied. We believe we should have done better. There's no doubt about it, and in every sector of the economy. And the only thing you do better, when a public sector takes the role of an enabler and leaves it to private sector to execute. Public sector is enabler and facilitator to encourage the private sector to step in and carry the economic activity. Now this period of last 40, 50 years, 60 years, was somewhat 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And I must say today that a decisiveness of this government during the last eight years has completely changed the roadmap, because there is a development, but development on a base created earlier. To say that base was not created earlier is wrong. It was a very good base created, but not good enough. So therefore, I believe today we are at the high time. The government is pushing it. Look at the state of the rural highways. You see expressways going on, world class, unheard of anywhere in the world. Look at the way government handled COVID case. So India is doing well, but so far as I'm concerned, I always believe perhaps not enough. Much more needs to be done for one reason. One, we have got an excellent 29 years is the average age of Indian workman. And then we have got the highest talented entrepreneurs. You see, if you really see, I live outside, I meet them. Indian entrepreneurs are way, way better than any entrepreneur in the world I've seen. Our people can take on to any entrepreneur. So they only need encouragement and empowered to carry the business forward because it is only ease of governance. Oh my God, the sky is the limit here.
Well, you know, you say that the sky is the limit here, but I want to pick up on something that you just said, that you live outside.
Yeah.
You are now a non-resident Indian.
Yeah.
You spend more of your time in London and in the south of France than you do in India.
Yeah.
Why is that the case?
Because it's a very personal thing. You see, perhaps there are few examples. I had an excellent married life, and my wife, late wife, was not only my wife, but was a wonderful support and friend to me. We were highly compatible. We grew together, and 65 years we were married together. She died. We tried the best in the world to save her. The battle which we fought against the air accident and cancer and all, but ultimately nothing could be done. So then what you leave into a situation. Naturally, as a lonely man, you get depressed. Now, this is not allowed to affect the functioning of a company. The company work is, you can't be depressed, you have to be positive, active. So I want to detach myself away and then devote the rest of my time in what I would like to do the best in my life. I have tremendous amount of relationship all over the world, friends. I like to visit them, meet them. And then, frankly, I'm quite a dedicated golfer. I'm very active. Earlier, I used to play ball, so I carry my sports. So for me, it is a disconnecting from executive role. Because if I get connected to executive role, I would not be performing the best. Because naturally, if you lose a partner for 65 years, you can't be the same. Your thinking goes differently. So I'm trying to restructure myself, but I'm here in and out. I travel when I feel like.
You know, it's interesting that you talked about being consciously aware of the need to let go. And many Indian promoters struggle with that. In this phase of restructuring or reorganizing your life and learning to let go, what has been the hardest part?
Hardest part of what?
Of learning to let go.
Realism. Because I'm one of those persons who understand, one is called philosophical, other is realistic. I knew that a business operation requires active involvement regardless of your personal issues. Secondly, positivity. So when you lose a partner like this and you are in 90 years, your reactions become slower. Whereas the company needs actions of a, not that I've slowed down, by the way, not at all. I've not slowed down, but I've slowed down insofar as my responsibility towards the company is concerned. And my son is in fact doing better job than me, taking the company forward in a very high trajectory with the same values which I did, rather better. So I'm very happy when I look back. If he was not competent, would have been worried to me. But I'm very proud of what Rajiv is doing. You must have heard the way,
yes.
See how development is carried out, camellias and all. And by the way, you just initially started, yes, DLF perhaps is the only company, 76 years back, it was incorporated few months before India became independent. At that time, the founder, my late father-in-law, he was a very visionary man. So he thought that people will be coming from Pakistan. So he provided 21 colonies in Delhi. Yes. All these are provided by DLF, far ahead of the requirement. And there his business motto was the same as we carry now. Always carry business where ethic and morality are the uppermost. You will never cut corners, and all our operation will be within the four corners of the laws of the land. That was the way it started. That is what I did, and that's what my son doing. Fourth generation, and secondly, is not the third generation, fourth generation in the business. I don't believe there is any parallel like this thing in the country. Of course, real estate, none. But otherwise also, I would like to, I was doing myself, how many companies are there where the fourth generation and the brand values has got enhanced all the time of the right, and the company respect has increased, not gone down.
Yeah.
So that is what DLF is all about.
You know, I want to pick up on many of those things that you spoke of,
Sure.
but you said that you haven't learned to slow down. You're still pushing yourself to do the things that you enjoy doing. You've just stepped away as far as the company is concerned.
So I tell you why.
Yeah, no, but here's what I want to pick up on the comment that you made about George Soros. I don't want to get into the argument on what George Soros said, etc. But you said that his comments are a reflection of him being addled by age. That's a fairly ageist comment, wouldn't you say?
What is my age, you think? Tell me. Yeah, you're ready.
You're 90 plus.
No. So a lot of people think that I'm 70 because I'm active. And I must say, I must like to pay a compliment to this thing. You see, when my wife she knew 6 months before that we have exhausted all efforts in the world. Cancer was spreading all over. So we sat down. She was such a very positive and a mature lady. She said, KP, listen, the biggest wish of a happily married couple is when you go together. Not one is left behind. But in this case, what is happening is you have done your best, but I'm going now. It's a matter of few months. So therefore, I'm gone. You have a life ahead of you. Give me one promise. Make your life, don't give up, because by giving up life is not going to help me. But this life will never come back to you. You know, I followed it too. For a year or two, I was very lonely. You do you see television, more alcohol, television, because they're lonely. All my friends have passed away, hardly any person my age. I was very lucky that I met a very charming person who's my partner now, Countess Sheena. She's one of the best persons in my life I've met now. She is energetic. She keeps me on the toes. She learned golf, so that's my passion. And she has a wonderful set of friends all over the world. So I go with them. So therefore, slightly I want to slow down. She's pushed it. Come on, let's go, move. So therefore, I would say substantial part of my being what I am today, credit goes to her.
So you found love again?
Well, love is a different thing. I don't think I can never love anybody, to tell you honestly. Love was my late wife. But I find a great compatibility with this new lady, Sheena. She's a wonderful person. And in a way, I would love, but love can't be distributed, isn't it? I loved my wife, late wife. I loved her dearly. At the moment, to say, I know when Sheena hears it, she would like me to say I love her. But I have to be frank. Yes, I appreciate her. I do everything. I'm grateful for the company she prized away. But my love was only one in my life. And will never be any other love.
We are going to take a break, but we continue our conversation with DLF's KP Singh right after this.